If you've been following the Las Vegas Raiders through this offseason, then you already know something special is happening. Something that's got fans buzzing with hope for the upcoming season. The team has made a serious statement by not only reshaping its roster, but also by making moves that suggest they're finally turning a corner after years of inconsistency and frustration. The buzz isn't just coming from the usual fan chatter or hype machines. Reputable voices in sports media are starting to take notice. ESPN, one of the biggest and most respected sports networks in the world, just named the Raiders the most improved team in the entire NFL this offseason. And that's huge. To say that this recognition is deserved isn't just a matter of opinion. When you look at the actual changes the Raiders have made, it's clear they've taken significant steps forward. The two biggest positions on any football team, quarterback and head coach, have seen a massive upgrade, and it's difficult to overstate how important that is. For years, the Raiders have struggled to find stability at quarterback, often settling for players who are either unproven, injured, or simply didn't have what it took to lead a winning team. Now, with Geno Smith at the helm, there's a legitimate reason to believe the team can consistently compete on Sundays. Smith isn't just any quarterback. According to the experts, he's a multiple tiers upgrade over what the Raiders had before. That's not just hype or a hot take. Geno brings experience, poise, and a track record of delivering when it counts. Since Derek Carr left in 2022, the Raiders have cycled through quarterbacks without much success. Smith is the first signal caller in years who has the potential to consistently perform above average week in and week out. And that alone raises the team's ceiling in a very competitive AFC West. But upgrading the quarterback position was only half the battle. The coaching staff, especially the head coach, plays an equally crucial role in turning a team around. And this is where the Raiders' hiring of Pete Carroll really comes into play. Pete Carroll is not just any coach, he's a proven winner, a master motivator, and someone who understands how to build a strong culture both in the locker room and on the sidelines. In the past, the Raiders had a hard time finding stability at head coach, and it showed in their inconsistent performances and struggles to close out games. Pete Carroll brings a level of experience and leadership that the Raiders desperately needed. What ESPN pointed out is that Carroll is multiple tiers better than the previous head coach, especially when it comes to managing in-game decisions and handling the locker room. Those are areas where the Raiders struggled mightily before. Having a coach of Carroll's caliber means that the team's floor is raised significantly. It's no longer a question of whether they'll fold under pressure or crumble in tight games. Now they have a leader who can guide them through adversity and bring out the best in each player. And speaking of players, the Raiders didn't stop with just quarterback and coach upgrades. They've added potential offensive stars like Brock Bowers and Ashton Gentry, which further elevates the team's ceiling. These young talents bring explosiveness and versatility to an offense that needed a spark. The infusion of new blood combined with the steadying presence of Smith and Carroll creates a recipe for a much more dynamic and competitive Raiders squad. Of course, no offseason is without its challenges. The Raiders had to deal with some tough defensive departures, losing key players like Travion Merrick, Roberts Blaine, Nate Hobbs, and others. These were serious losses that could have set the team back if not addressed properly. However, the front office did a solid job in building depth through free agency and the draft, ensuring that the defense remains resilient. Depth is vital in the NFL, especially over a long, grueling season where injuries can hit any team at any time. Looking at the Raiders' schedule for the upcoming season, things get even more interesting. They start off on the road against New England, a challenging opener that will test how ready this new-look team really is. They have a bye in Week 8, which offers a crucial chance to regroup and recover. But the stretch from Week 9 through Week 18 is where things could get decisive. Games against Cleveland, the Giants, and others might seem like easier matchups on paper, but in the NFL, no game is a guaranteed win. The Raiders will need to stay sharp and consistent if they want to meet expectations. Now, if you're wondering how many games this improved Raiders team can win, the number I'm locking in is 9. That's right, 9 wins in a division as tough as the AFC West would be a significant step forward. Last season, the Raiders won just 4 games, and Even that felt like a stretch given how many of those wins came down to luck or favorable circumstances. Moving from 4 wins to 9 would mean this team isn't just playing better, it's competing at a whole new level. It's the kind of turnaround that signals a franchise on the rise, ready to challenge the status quo. The offseason moves that have brought the Raiders to this point are numerous, but some stand out more than others. One that might fly under the radar is locking in Jackson Powers Johnson as the starting center. There was some debate about whether he'd hold that role, but it looks like the team has settled on him, and for good reason. Johnson fits perfectly with the physical, aggressive style the Raiders want to play. His presence anchors the offensive line and provides stability, which is critical when you have a quarterback like Smith who needs protection and time to make plays. Another key signing was Landon Roberts, who came in to replace Robert Spain. Losing Spain was tough, but Roberts brings a different kind of leadership and intensity to the linebacker core. He's the kind of player who can lead by example, energize the defense, and serve as a captain on the field. Adding someone like Roberts to the defense shows the front office's commitment to rebuilding, not just through talent, but through character and leadership. The Raiders also brought in Jeremy Chinn, which was a smart move given the need to replace Spain adequately. Chinn has a similar playing style to Cam Chancellor, a player who thrived under Pete Carroll's coaching. That connection to Carroll's system makes Chinn a natural fit, and his ability to step in and contribute right away adds valuable depth to the defense. Signing Chinn and Roberts shows a clear plan to build a defense that's not just reactive, but aggressive and disruptive. Malcolm Coots re-signing on a 1-year deal for $12 million is another move that signals intent. Coots is a player who embodies the toughness and relentless pursuit of the quarterback that the Raiders want from their defense. The team needs to get after the opposing passer consistently, and Coots fits perfectly into that role. His presence on the field elevates the entire defensive unit, giving the Raiders a better chance to control games by pressuring quarterbacks and creating turnovers. Among all the free agent signings, Adam Butler stands out as the most crucial. While he might not have the flashy stats of others, his impact in the trenches cannot be overstated. Butler makes everyone around him better, from Max Crosby to Malcolm Kuhn, and even the younger defenders like Wilkins and Tyree Wilson. Having a player like Butler who can anchor the defensive line is essential for any team that wants to win consistently in the NFL. His ability to disrupt opposing offenses creates opportunities for the entire defense to shine. Of course, the Raiders also made some monumental moves on the coaching front. The addition of John Spytek as part of the staff might not grab headlines like a new quarterback or a high-profile signing, but it's arguably just as important. Spytek's influence over the front office and coaching decisions has been significant, and his reputation for excellence adds another layer of confidence that this organization is headed in the right direction. Stability and strong leadership off the field often translate into success on it, and the Raiders are clearly building that foundation. At the very top of the list, though, the biggest offseason move has to be trading for Geno Smith. It's almost impossible to win in the NFL without a quality quarterback, and the Raiders finally have one who can lead them. Smith's experience, skill set, and leadership qualities give this team a new identity and a real chance to compete week after week. For too long, the Raiders have had interesting rosters but lacked the quarterback to truly capitalize on their talent. Now, with Smith, everything changes. This collection of moves, from the strategic sign-in, smart draft picks, to the coaching hires, all point to a franchise that is thinking clearly and moving decisively. The Raiders aren't just hoping for better days. They're actively building a team and culture that can deliver wins and excitement for their fans. It's a breath of fresh air after so many seasons of disappointment. As a fan or an observer, it's exciting to watch this transformation unfold. The pieces are coming together in a way that feels authentic and sustainable. The Raiders have spent years searching for the right mix, and now with these improvements, they look like a team ready to compete with anyone in their division and beyond. The coming months will be a true test, but the foundation has never looked stronger. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be one of the most stunning moves of the NFL offseason, rumors are swirling around the league that Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver DK Metcalf may have secretly agreed to terms with the Las Vegas Raiders. While no official statement has been made by either team or the player himself, multiple unnamed sources close to the situation suggest that talks between Metcalf and the Raiders have been intensifying in recent weeks, with some insiders claiming that a deal is already in place. If true, this would send shockwaves through the NFL, as Metcalf is widely considered one of the league's premier wide receivers, a physical specimen with rare speed and strength who can dominate opposing defenses. His potential departure from the Steelers would be a massive blow to their offensive unit, which has increasingly relied on his playmaking ability. On the other hand, his arrival in Las Vegas would instantly elevate the Raiders' offense to one of the most dangerous in the AFC, pairing him with quarterback Aiden O'Connell and newly acquired star running back. Speculation about Metcalf's possible move began when he was spotted in Las Vegas earlier this month, attending an event with several Raiders players and front office personnel. Although such appearances can be harmless, some believe this was a signal of ongoing negotiations. Adding fuel to the fire, Metcalf recently posted a cryptic message on social media, leading fans and analysts to wonder if he was hinting at a significant change in his career. The Steelers, for their part, have remained silent on the matter, declining to comment on the rumors. Meanwhile, the Raiders front office has also kept a tight lid on any potential developments, which only adds to the intrigue surrounding this possible blockbuster move. At this point, nothing is confirmed, and it remains to be seen whether Metcalf will indeed suit up in the iconic silver and black next season. However, if the whispers prove true, this could be a franchise-altering transaction for both teams, and yet another example of how unpredictable and dramatic the NFL offseason can be. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.